Yeah, if we clap again. My hands are hurting.
Okay, you're so sensitive. 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to another episode of, I guess it's just called Tier List on the Bonus Boys. And this week, we are going to be ranking Overwatch characters based on, well, I don't know, I guess how good they are, how cool they are.
Technically, they're called heroes.
Yeah, sorry, it says character pool. I guess it should say hero pool, right?
I mean, they are characters.
Yeah,
I just thought I'd get that comment out the way so no one else needs to write it.
So yeah, we're going to take it in turns, one at a time, to pick a hero, put them on the tier list. Yeah, Joe, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I think this is going to be super hard because like they're all very good, and I feel like there's loads are going to end up in A and B, and I want more of a spread. So I think if we try and get a C we agree on, and then everything else we can say above and below the C. So my suggestion for a good C character is Baptiste.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say maybe CD.
So
CD,
tense.
maybe.
You're going to flip the table over and be like, my hero.
You haven't played Overwatch for a little while, have you?
No. I mean, yeah, the last few times I played with you, but I had played a lot before that.
Well, Baptiste is good now.
Yeah, well, it's not that he's bad. I just feel like he's not hugely interesting. Like, he's always been effective, but I don't think he's ever been, like, exciting.
No.
Yeah, that's why I've kind of put him down a bit.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so we got our midpoint. I think for A, I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. So I'm going to go next. I'm going to put Tracer in A as the poster girl, main character of Overwatch. When I think of Overwatch, the first thing I think of is Tracer.
I mean, she's the one on the box.
Exactly. She's like the Royu of Overwatch. And also she's pretty good. She's interesting to play. She's easy to play. So if you've not played before, you can kind of... I mean, not being super high level, but if you've not played before, you can kind of get the hang of it by playing as her. So...
Yeah. I mean, she definitely wouldn't be A for me. I find her quite annoying, and like a lot of her voice lines quite annoying. And
she is annoying, yeah.
So like, I'm not a big fan of her as a character. And to play, she's cool. I think she's really good. So one of the perspectives I'm going to have that you don't as much is watching the Overwatch League, and watching the pros play as her is like mind blowing. And I also really love for her abilities. I feel they all work together well. The way it's like you can blink forward, you know, throw down your bomb as your ultimate, and then reverse back. Like she feels very like everything fits together, rather than like some that just feel like they have this ability and this and this, and they're all separate. Can I push her to a B? Just because she's so annoying?
It's just difficult. Like, who is the toppest A character you can think of? Because for me, it's Tracer, just because she's the main.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just because she's on the box. You know, that's not like anything
and
about
she wears the colours of the logo.
Yeah, but is that's not her as a that's just like the marketing department, not her as a character.
That's true.
Can we put it to B and then maybe
you put someone else in A and then we'll have a look at Tracer again.
Well, and we'll compare them. Someone else in A.
Yeah.
Right. Wrecking Ball.
Great.
AKA Hammond.
Great character. Yeah.
I mean, entertaining, and so fun to play as well.
Yeah.
And viable and like top level. Like it's not like, oh, you should be playing Reinhardt. He's not like a gimmick. He's actually like effective.
Yeah. No, do you know what? You're right.
Knock people off
cute,
the edge.
He's fun.
Yeah.
He's effective. You love to see him.
Yeah,
you're right. Tracer should go down.
Wrecking Ball just knocked Tracer down.
Yeah. Booped her off. Okay. So then maybe I should try and think of the worst boring.
Yeah, let's get to an
one
E.
that no one.
We've got the full range covered.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be just me, but a character I never think about or ever play is Zarya.
You scared me for a second because you hovered over Sigma.
No. Zarya is like I've got 2 accounts in Overwatch, both to over level 100. So I've played quite a bit, and I've never played a Zarya once.
Really, not even
my own
once.
Back. No, like I have done in random hero, but I just think she's so boring. I don't really even understand her power. Like, I just know when someone's orbed, you're not supposed to shoot them, and I'm like, well, that's not fun.
Yeah, like I think her one good thing is that she enables more fun heroes. Like, so say if like they were a Tracer hasn't got much, she's got the least health in the game. Zarya can bubble Tracer, and then Tracer can be more aggressive because of that. So she pairs well with like Doomfist and Tracer and stuff. It's like her one good point. But yeah, no, I've played her for 3 hours, and I've played Overwatch overall for 557 hours, which I guess tells you how I feel. So yeah.
Also, I don't think her design's interesting.
No, I think the fact that it's like a non-traditional female body type in a video game is like unique. It shouldn't be, but that's I guess props to that. But yeah, she doesn't interest me as a character, gameplay, or personality. So yeah, E's where she belongs.
Right, cool. Okay, so we've got the bread.
Yeah.
covered.
Well, should I try and should I try and put one in the D? I guess.
Yeah.
Then we've got everyone covered. I don't know if this will be controversial to you, but Brigitte.
Ooh, I like Brigitte more than Baptiste.
Gameplay or personality?
Gameplay. Personality, I don't really know what. She's Torbjorn's daughter? Or something?
Yeah, and then works with Reinhardt. And she's got a cute cat.
Yeah. And also I like when she says rally to me.
Yeah. I think I just
shout.
like the voice actor because she like streams and stuff. She's like quite young and like she doesn't look like a voice actor, and she's like, I've seen a few streams of her. So I think I like that.
Maybe swap her and Baptiste.
Well, can I say why I've got her low?
Yeah.
Because she's propped up by the character. Gameplay-wise, I think she's firmly E. Because she, like Overwatch has a problem with, like, so many stun heroes. And she, she ruined the Overwatch League. You've heard of, like, GOATS meta? Have you heard of that? Where it's basically people would only be tanks and healers. And it was Brigitte was what enabled that. And if anyone, like, dove down on them, she would shield bash and just stun them. And so... like, they've patched her so she's not as bad as she used to be, but to play against her, if you are playing, like, Tracer, Genji, any, like, dive hero, then she basically just makes it, like, almost non-viable. She just really slows the pace of the game down.
But she does have that cool, like, mace that you can, like, launch.
Yeah, the flail.
That's great. Yeah,
that's the best part. But her ultimate's a bit boring. It just, like, gives everyone armor,
boring.
but everyone just uses it as a heal rather than as that. Have I convinced you to
that whole armor system in Overwatch I don't really understand.
Yeah, there's like armor and then like shield and then health, and they all work a bit differently.
Yeah. I still think she's level with Baptiste. You can either move Baptiste down or move her up.
I'd
still play her over Baptiste.
Yeah, I just feel like Baptiste is like, because I enjoy playing Brigitte, but I just feel like she negatively impacts like the whole game when she's in the game. Like she forces everyone to play in that style almost if they're playing her effectively. So yeah, I would rather move Baptiste down if they have to be on the same level.
Yeah, I'm moving him down.
Okay.
Also, like I don't watch Overwatch League, and I've only played like 3 ranked games in my life, so.
Yeah.
For when I play a game with Brigitte in it, it's probably not the same.
If there's a coordinated team, that's when it's painful. If she's off by herself, she's just, she's an easy target. But if you're playing against like a good group of players, then she can be a bit obnoxious.
Okay, so I need to pick another middle of the road.
Well, no, I think we're in now. We can just start throwing them up.
Okay. Lovely way of putting it.
Yeah. That's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to pick what I think's another A, which is Diva.
Yeah. No
Fun
arguments.
To play, super effective, loads of options. Why can't I put her there? Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, she's a great character, and also the first character I learned to play, so a bit of a soft spot for me.
I played her quite. She's very forgiving because of like the defense matrix that like eats all the damage away. Yeah. She's my 4th most played hero with 46 hours.
Oh yeah, I need to find my notes about who I've played.
Yeah, that's mainly useful for argument. So I've played 46 hours as Diva.
Okay, I've played 12.
Yeah.
But you've played a lot more than me.
Yeah, I've played more overall.
You said you played about 500 hours. I've played about 125.
Yeah. So yeah, your ratio is higher for playing her than me as well.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like her a lot. Great character. Also,
yeah, really cool character. Especially
buy...
have you seen about her? Because she's like a pro player, and she kind of like has like this image of like being kind of this like celebrity, like socialite person. But then like it's all kind of a facade, and in real life she's just wants to chill by herself and play games. And like I just think that's just quite a cool character.
Yeah. Also, she's got the like nerf this.
Yeah.
Which is quite.
It's a nice little meta. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. I will go next. I will. I do one I don't think you're going to disagree with because I'm pretty sure I know your opinion on her. I'm going to put Echo in E.
Yeah, she's rubbish and boring.
I like
she's
her
like,
ult.
do you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of. Do you remember Mokujin from Tekken?
No,
and he was like the wooden guy that could only use other people's
with
moves.
Like a sword and like the ball hands. Like
he's like he's the ball guy. Yeah, he can only use other people's moves. It's like, oh, we can't make another character, so we're gonna have to just like make someone that uses everyone else's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her actual abilities, but her main like shooting, a little like thing is just super unsatisfying, like projectile weapon where it doesn't do high enough damage, and then the fact it's not hit scan, it doesn't feel precise, and then she's got like the bomb gel stuff.
Yeah,
I do like her ult. Yeah.
So that's like annoying to use and annoying to get hit by.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I feel like those kind of she feels worse on controller than mouse and keyboard as well. It's kind of with the flying and the movement, it's almost just too many inputs. You really need to have back paddles on your controller to do everything you want to do as her. But yeah, I do her ult for those that if you got this point in the video, you better be an Overwatch fan because this is for Overwatch people. But in case you aren't, her ult basically she stills to basically be one of the other characters who can then get their ult quick. And I think there is some interesting plays there, especially at like high level gameplay. And also the fact that like there's new voice lines of like her reading the other character's voice lines, quite cool. But it's not redeeming. She belongs in E.
Yeah, I agree. Also, in the level that I'm playing at, everyone that plays Echo just takes Diva's ult.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything else. That's all anyone ever does.
Yeah. It's more of taking Reinhardt's, like you always would take a tank, but yeah, like high level.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I have actually got a middle of the road guy for my next pick.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Mr. Middle of the Road.
Mr. Middle of the Road. I mean, I do like him for it.
Yeah.
But I understand he is middle of the road guy.
Yeah. He's
quite fun to play. He's like, if someone's not played before, I always say play Soldier or Ashe, because those two are kind of the ones that control.
Yeah. And I think Soldier in particular, just the spraying gun, and then the fact that you got sprint and healed, he's like, you can stay alive a bit easier than Ashe if you get dove on, but he's very uninteresting.
And also, he's quite good because he can heal himself. That's something that people often forget about.
Yeah, well, and others Soldier as well. Like, you can heal other people. Those little, like, the chip damage, just to, not to drag a healer over to you. You can kind of heal yourself. I'd always be tempted to put him to D just because he is so uninteresting. So not in terms of fun, but he's just so boring.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing about him.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing about him. Although, did you see, in the last update, they changed it so that when he does his ultimate, he doesn't glow anymore, so that he can do it from hiding.
Oh, okay.
That's something.
Oh, let's put him up to B. He's the most interesting.
Yeah, try and find anything for him.
You think C, not D?
I think C. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
C, also,
he's fun to play.
He's one of the ones that I put a note of because I've played him for 16 hours. So.
Oh, he's one of your most played. Yeah. No, I've played him a lot, but that mainly because he's effective and quite fun. I've done 26 hours on Soldier.
Nice. Soldier 26.
Yeah, and I'll never play him again.
Mate, you'll never play Overwatch again at this rate. I can't remember.
I'm waiting for Overwatch 2. I'm ready. I'm looking to the future.
Okay.
Okay, let me just Bastion. I'm not sure I'm going to put him yet. Let me just slide him up the list and watch your face and see your reaction. You start crying. I think Do you want... See, I love the character, but he can be so annoying to play against when you're against on a good team. I'm going to put him at C.
Oh,
he's one of my favourite characters.
Yeah.
But if you're against a good Bastion when they've got like a shield in front of him and he's been like damage boost by a Mercy, like he's another character where if someone's Bastion, the whole game everyone has to adjust their strategy to deal with him. And sometimes that's fine, but sometimes I'm like, I just wanted to play Ashe, but now there's no point because I can't shoot him. You know, like it's...
Mate, that's the premise of the whole game.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that. No, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm going on and I want to play it, but, you know, I'm like, I just want to mess around as this character. And I'm like, I can't now because if I go out in the open, I'm going to get killed by Bastion. I need to switch to Junkrat or Pharah or something.
What you want to do is just log on, play as Reaper, no comms, do your own thing, run into the enemy and die repeatedly.
Just Genji, just hold forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like sometimes it can be annoying if you're playing against a coordinated team with a decent Bastion player. And when I say a good Bastion player, I don't mean someone who's just going to set up in the turret and keep shooting until they die. I mean one that's moving around strategically. If they're getting pressured, they'll back off and set up somewhere else. Like if you're playing against a good team that's working around a Bastion, it can be like super tough and like sometimes frustrating.
Well, the reason that I would put Bastion up is because me and my partner in Overwatch crime, Alice plays Bastion and I play Orisa. And we literally just move around the map like a little gun placement.
Yeah, you're the problem then. That's what we're establishing. Yeah. You're the thing I just talked about and hate.
It is excellent. I absolutely love it. It's like my favourite thing to do. As soon as like she transforms into the robot, I'm like, shield down. I just stand behind her, shoot my minigun. I couldn't imagine a game without Bastion because like she plays Bastion all the time. So
I remember when the game first came out and people were just so unprepared for the damage. And he was like, everyone was just moaning about how strong he was. Then people were learning like, oh yeah, if he's there, like get in cover. Like people like eventually learn.
It really reminds me of when I first started playing Team Fortress 2. And I was like, I can just sit on a dispenser as a heavy and just shoot continuously.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. Like I've never had that feeling back. Like, do you remember that there's one point on that map where the people have to jump over onto the point? Like I think it's on Dust Bowl. So like you come out the spawn and they have to jump from a little building. They can jump over onto this little stage with the point on it.
Okay.
But anyway, I used to just sit in the corner there with the dispenser. We had an engineer just hitting it, and I would just sit in front of it with the machine gun and the pyro spinning around. It was so good.
Is that before people realised with Soldier you can shoot round corners because the rocket actually goes from the gun rather than the middle of you? Did you know about that?
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
So if you're Soldier and if you go up like right against the wall, but the gun is posted like you can aim and you can shoot around the corner of the wall because the rocket actually comes out of the gun rather than like the middle.
Great. I mean, last time I played TF2, you couldn't get hats, so that's how long it's been since I played. Yeah. Can we move Bastion up?
I'm going to put him in the edge. I'm going to edge him. Put him there.
He is. All right. Okay. In that case, then I'm going to put my favourite character by far in A, and I will not hear anything about it.
Are we both allowed one free pass? Is that how it works?
What, to move it down?
No, I was going to say a free pass.
Oh, okay.
Like if it's your favourite, is she your most played?
Easily, yeah. So I've played her for 54 hours. Which is double what my second one is.
Yeah.
She's great. Me and Orisa have great synergy.
Okay.
I know the timings, the cooldowns of all her moves. I love pulling people down the well with the halt.
Yeah.
The shield is great because I tell you what I like about the shield as well is that everyone on the team uses it.
Yeah.
Whereas something like a teleporter, someone could easily run past that. Or a healing point from the soldier, you could just leave it. Whereas the shield, everyone is going to use it.
Yeah.
So you always feel like very necessary.
Yeah.
And I
mean, I don't find her the most fun just because she's like, I don't know, she's not a very dynamic hero, I guess. She's quite, even footing. And I kind of leaned more to like kind of flanky, I guess, characters. But yes, I've played her a decent amount, but almost more out of necessity because she's very good, and I like to win. But yeah, if she's your favorite, I'm not gonna argue her down. Like she'd probably be B or C for me, but That's
Yeah.
fine.
The only thing about her I don't like is the fact that she's got 4 legs, but she's really slow.
Yeah.
It's like, you got twice as many legs as anyone else. You should be really quick.
She looks quite
Why?
heavy though. She feels so much. I think it's because of the clunking sound effect, which is
Yeah,
like
but do you think a
thudding.
horse is light? Like, a horse is heavy and they're pretty fast. So you think she'd be able to run really quickly?
Yeah, but then like you put your shield down, you just like run past it. It's like, what's the point?
Well, I was thinking like it would be quite cool to have an ability where you can carry someone on your back and like run to the front line and then put your.
I mean, that's the thing that sounds cool, but then like all of the coders trying to think of how to actually make that happen, they're all just like sweating, like Reinhardt riding on her back like a hammer, like raised in the air,
or Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. And the
It's just
speed
legs.
changes on how heavy they are. Like if Roadhog goes on the back, she's like crawling.
Yeah,
Sparks coming out.
That's a good idea. It could actually make her slower. No, because you'd want the heavy ones. You'd want to take the heavy ones. Yeah.
Maybe we'll leave her as she is.
Yeah.
That would be funny though. Is that maybe it's a bit like undignified for her?
No, she's a what are they called? Omnic. She lives to serve.
Yeah, she's got personality now.
Yeah.
Right. I might do my free pass then if I'm allowed to for my like I've switched throughout the years for favorite heroes, but Sigma is my favorite at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. So like I always lean towards heroes that have like they're quite self-sufficient and have a lot of versatility. So for him, he's like he can kind of just do a bit of everything. So he's got a bit of self-heal because he's got shield. Then he's got his actual shield, which is useful for protecting yourself, other players. You can shoot it up to like block things in the air. You can shut down ultimates with it, like say Pharah's doing an ult. You also got the thing where you can eat damage, which can once again be used to eat ultimates and then like used during like the cooldown of your shield. You got your main kind of weapons throwing out those balls, which you can bounce around corner, good AoE damage. This is good for busting shields. And then you got a super effective ultimate as well. So you can either group up with the team, stay with an Orisa, or you can do a flank and have enough survivability to know you can get back to your team. Yeah, like I'm not hugely into the character, like the personality, but
he's like the crazy guy, isn't he? Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
I'm
like the music gets played again. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, in terms of gameplay wise, he's my favorite for when I stopped playing. And to put it in perspective, he was a relatively late addition. Like he probably wasn't in the game for that long for like the time I was playing, and I've played him for 67 hours. And he's my second most played hero overall, despite like him only being out for probably about 30% of the time I was playing Overwatch.
Right. I think I know who your number one is.
Okay.
Your most played hero. Shall I spoil it or not?
I mean, we're getting through all of them, so it's now.
I think Roadhog is your most played character.
He is.
I always remember you playing Roadhog whenever we played together because you're like, yeah, he can heal himself.
It's everything that I just said. He's self-sufficient. He can heal. If he gets dove on, he's got the hook. He can do long range, medium range, and close range damage. Like he's someone when I'm like if I really just want to win, like they're the champions I pick where I'd be like, I don't need to rely too much on healers. I can kind of try and brute force a victory here. Or if my team are really working well together, then you can have a lot of synergy. Like I remember us with Orisa, you would lift someone up over the shield and I'd hook them in, and beautiful.
Also, I remember you saying that you thought Roadhog was really cool and you really liked all his voice lines. So that's...
Yeah, when did I say that?
Yeah, you say like, oh, he's so cool. I wish I could be him. He's such a cool guy.
I love it when he goes.
Right, okay, I'm going to go next. Are
we going to put Roadhog up? Seeing as we
no, I'm leaving for you. Leaving him for you.
Okay,
you can do it now if you want.
It's just we had the discussion, so I didn't know.
You do it now. Go on, stick him.
Well, I'm thinking B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very tank heavy top half of the.
Well, yeah, well,
except for Tracer.
I realised I didn't realise until I looked at the stats screen. I've played more tanks than other heroes. I've got 257 hours in tanks, which is my most of anything.
Tanks are the best class. Tanks are by far my favourite, by quite a long shot. Damage, I never get to play.
Well,
so
Overwatch 2, you're never going to be able to play because there's only going to be one tank in every game, so you're never going to...
No one likes being a tank, so I'll pick the tank.
257 hours playing as a tank.
You do. That's true. So, speaking of damage that I never get to play, my favourite damage character, Junkrat. For me, he might be another A. This is going to be a problem that they're all going to be
This is what I said straight off. There's going to be too many A's.
So,
We're going to set the standard.
Great weapons, great character, a lot of fun to play, cool design, great voice lines. He's got the whole package. Also, he plays like the demo man from Team Fortress 2, so
yeah,
that's also a bonus. But yeah, I think Junkrat. Also, hasn't he got his own stage? Isn't the
Junkertown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not really. It's not really. It's actually almost more Hammond's stage. That
really?
one weirdly, yeah. There is like a thing where they're trying to. There's this leader of that thing, and they have like arena battles, and Wrecking Ball was like this person who was always winning, but they didn't know who it was, but it turned out it's like this hamster. But there's this there is a short where it's like Junkrat and Roadhog. I think they're trying to like sell them something or steal something from them, but it's not it's not like he's there, it's in Australia, but it's not based on him.
I've never watched a single one of those.
Some of them are quite good.
I've never even watched the opening cutscene. I don't know. I just skip.
Yeah.
It's just really bad. Considering how much I love Overwatch as well, you'd think I would watch it, but
yeah,
I don't know. So it's kind of bounced off me.
Yeah, I mean, he's not an A. Like, I've only played him for, where is he? 4 hours. I've only played him for.
I've played him for 20, and I think roughly if you times them by 4, then we're looking at. That's kind of like if you were playing on the same amount of time.
Like, just from doing Mystery Heroes, that's probably covered that 4 hours.
Oh, he's great, though. He's got so many good voice lines. He's got that one after he dies where he goes, "That was a fight, how do you do?" It makes me laugh every time. I
think it's just I tend to lean more hit scan generally rather than projectile. And I know that sounds a bit weird after saying Sigma, but Sigma's balls are quite fast.
Sigma balls.
Yeah. And I find Junkrat's projectiles are quite slow. And I find I get frustrated if like there's like a tracer or something like diving on me. I know you got your traps and stuff. Also, it's quite annoying to get like caught in his traps and that. So for me he would be like C or something. I mean, could we maybe settle for a B?
We'll settle for a B.
Yeah, because there's a lot of A's.
Because I've just realised that when we did that best of 3 Overwatch, it was at Junkrat and you absolutely thrashed me. So I feel like maybe you are talking from a point of authority on the subject. You absolutely destroyed me. So
no, I'm just really good at football. It was the football skill that carried across.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, my go. I'm going to do Genji, and I'm going to put him in. It's hard, because it's like, do we do it on what we think of? Like, are we doing how good they are as a character, or how much we like them?
A bit of everything.
Okay, well, I'm between D and E. What do you think for Genji?
I agree, because I reckon he's probably pretty good, but I don't want to play him, and he annoys me.
Yeah, I mean, but the only thing is he's very entertaining to watch a high skilled player playing them, especially their ult, where they're just like boop, 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 just like zipping around the screen. You're like, how do you even keep track of where these players are? They're so fast. Yeah. That can be quite entertaining, but in terms of playing as or against, I don't enjoy. So shall we say E then, if we're both in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Genji fans. We're not saying he's bad or there's anything wrong with him. Just not for us.
Well, I'm saying he's lame. So
okay.
There you go.
That's just Ollie. All angry comments towards Ollie, please.
He is a lame character. Okay. I'm going to go next. I feel like maybe I should pick someone who I'm going to put low, because I'm picking all these. I'll tell you who my E is that you're not going to agree with is Anna.
Ooh, no, I'm not going to agree with.
I don't even notice when there's an Anna on my team.
That's because
I don't ever play Anna.
It's because normally you notice your healers when you're like, oh, I'm weak, I need healing, where's the healer? Oh, it's Mercy, hi Mercy. With Anna, you're already healed, so you don't even notice it.
Or you're not, because all they're trying to do is snipe the other team. Like, they literally have nothing to do with you. Also, she's got that stupid power where she like knocks someone out, but like it doesn't really give enough of a notification to everyone else that she's done that. So if you're already firing at them, say for example, if your arm is a minigun, like Arissa's is, I'm firing at someone, they just fall asleep and instantly wake up again because I don't get enough of a cue to stop.
Yeah. See, that's
just a hindrance.
I think that was once again the difference of like from playing competitive and quick play. Because when I was playing, like when I used to play, we'd always play as a group. We'd always be a full team. and you'd sleep someone, you'd call it out, especially if they're by themselves, everyone just surrounds them while they're sleeping. Everyone go, and literally, it'll be my friend Frank, he will go, right, Mercy's down, like, whoever's asleep, 3, 2, 1, and then you all shoot at the same time. Like, and if, like, say if there's someone, like, doing their ult, like, say if, like, Farah goes up and, like justice reigns right, and you put them to sleep, it's so satisfying.
Doesn't it have a bullet drop?
It's a projectile. You gotta lead your shot for it. But like if you shut down an ult with your sleep dart, it's so satisfying. And then there's also like it's when you zoom in, you do hit scan, but it heals less. And if you fire from the hip, it heals more, but it's projectile and it's a bit more difficult. And I like the fact that you can be a healer, but still be a very mechanically demanding like champion, like aim heavy. Like I feel like it's nice to have that option where compared to like Mercy and Moira, who are very effective healers, but it's, you know, it's not as involving, I don't think, as Anna.
Yeah.
Like,
but I still don't. I would still put her in E. You can move her up to D if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just trying to make the point to get her up to D, or maybe a C? No? Okay, all right.
She's like a healer that I feel like people pick her, it's because they're not actually interested in healing, they're interested in sniping.
Yeah, but I feel once again that's just like, that's the people, you know, that's humans, not like, you know, that's nothing against the hero. You know, and then she's got the splash heal as well, you know, so that's going to be... And then it's the anti-heal for enemies. Like, she's very strong in, like, pro-level play because, you know, she, like, and that splash is almost always used to anti-heal the other team, and then you will dive on them while they can't heal themselves.
Oh, okay, so is that what it does? I thought it, like, made them take double damage or something.
No, it means, once you're purple, it basically means you can't be healed by your own team.
Oh, yeah, no, I can remember the icons. Yeah, they go on the side of the screen, don't they? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, she's in D now.
Yeah. So that was your choice, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Let's do another healer. Let's do Moira. I'm gonna put Moira in B.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Great.
What do you like about her?
Great damage potential and great healing potential. She's got both. And also, there's nothing more satisfying than teleporting through a charging Reinhardt. Like, that is just the best thing ever when you do that. They have changed her bouncing orbs recently, so they're not as good.
Okay.
I think they only bounce once before they explode or something.
Okay.
Like, they're not as good, but she's still great. So
I like
also,
it, like shooting it,
lines.
like healing down in like a doorway. So the healing goes like boop, 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 bouncing up and down in the doorway, and then you can just stand and like heal yourself.
Yeah. Or doing it in the center room of Oasis. Is it Oasis? With like the little round room in the middle?
Oh yeah, on the courtyard kind of one.
Yeah. You just shoot it in there and then everyone can run through.
Yeah, and then the damage can be super. Yeah, I love it when you shoot like a heal and then the team move with the heal and then like, cause she's really all just about meter management, like managing how much healing do you have? Should I heal now? Like, can you kind of burst heal and then do a bit of damage and stuff? Like, it's once again, it's not very mechanically demanding. It's all about like strategy and positioning and stuff, but that's kind of satisfying in its own right and just very effective at all levels of play. Like, bad players can do good as her as well as, you know, top level players.
I do think though, and this is partly why I'm happy with her being in B, for some reason all of her skins are just so lame. Like, none of them do anything for me. Every single time she gets a new skin, I'm like, oh, Moira's a character I'm like, and I'm always like, oh God, what is that? Like, every time. I think I just got one where she looks like a plant or something. It's just like so lame.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
You can't put it down to C because of that.
No. That's why she's not in A.
Oh, okay.
That's why she's in B. Also, I don't feel like she doesn't really look like a lot of the characters. You can kind of tell what they do based on what they look like. Whereas I feel like you can't really tell anything about her because she kind of just looks like a wizard.
Yeah, but like... I think she's quite interesting. I think Echo is a bit like that, where like she kind of looks like a healer, but she's a bit like, a bit all of everything.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna go next with who I think is the coolest hero, but I don't ever play them. I'm not any good with them. That's Sombra.
Okay.
I'm gonna put her in C. Because I don't know how to play her. I've never made good use of her ultimate. Obviously I know what it does, and I've been hit by it, but I can never pull it off. I think she's a really cool character, and I really like her weapons, but I just can't play her. I kind of feel like you need to be in a team that's all working together to play her well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just run out and do your ultimate and nothing happens because you haven't told anyone.
Yeah, it's probably the strongest for like top level play. It's probably the best ult in the game. Because like if you get your EMP and just take away everyone's abilities, and then once again it's got to be coordinated. And she's changed a lot over the years. Like she used to kind of like it used to be a thing. So you'd hack the health kits, and then anytime someone heals from it, it would give her like ult charge. And so like they would use that as like an ult charge battery to build EMP and then win. But then they changed that around and got her more involved. But yeah, I'm the same as you. Like I've played her very, very little, only for 2 hours. Just because you do have to be so coordinated to play her, but I do like her as a character, and I like her the fact you can go invisible, then you can like run around like around the other enemy players and go like boop and just like make like say some of them like spinning around trying to find you. It's just interesting.
All her animations and stuff are really cool as well. She's a very cool character.
Yeah, and then the teleporter thing where you kind of throw it until that's just a satisfying mechanic. So yeah, I'm not going to say to push her down, even though I never play her.
No, me neither.
I'm going to do Ashe now. Another one of my top played. I'm going to put her in B. I feel like you don't play Ashe much, so I don't know if
I don't. And also the new update that gets rid of the aim assist makes her even harder to play.
Yeah, on
console. I've been playing on PC a bit recently. But playing on console with her now is really difficult.
Yeah, and I can imagine that. Like, she's a super precision. I love the fact that I love her movement. I love the fact that you've got the coach gun, which you can use to knock people back or to knock yourself up, and then like you can throw the dynamite and shooting it out midair and doing that AOE, and like you can shoot it over shields, and then like getting 1 or 2 like ping headshots just in a row to really chunk down the damage. Like she's my favorite like first person shooter character in the game in terms of like like thinking of this as like a traditional first person shooter. I think she has the best feeling shooting movement combo.
Also, she's got Bob. Yeah, maybe we should move her up to A.
Yeah, maybe
she's got all that and Bob.
Yeah.
Also, Bob can like capture points.
Yeah,
he can push the cart. Like
he can like knock people up in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
Like...
Okay, great. I'm happy with A. I mean, she is hard to play, especially with no auto aim. But I mean, I'm a noob, so what can I say? It's my problem.
Get good, mate. Get good.
Get good. Get good. Okay, I'm gonna put Zenyatta in A.
Ooh,
Happy guys.
It's getting busy. It's getting busy up there.
It is getting busy up there. My second most played hero, 26 hours. This isn't including my PC time, by the way, because I didn't have time to do all 3 of my consoles. But yeah, I love Zenyatta. Always liked him. His like firing animation is so cool.
Yeah,
the sound effects are so cool. He's a cool character. Like I like his like Zen attitude. Oh, what's his name? Like his Zen.
I really love his Yatta attitude.
Yeah, he's just good, and his 2 orbs are really powerful, especially when you're playing with the team and you can say Diva's orbed or whatever, and then everyone attacks that character.
Yeah, I'm once again one of the strongest ults in the game, along with EMP. And there's a really fun dynamic between kind of Sombra and Zenyatta for like, because obviously the EMP takes away all of his shield, and he's got 180 of his health is shield and only 20 is health, so he's like super vulnerable to EMP. So there's, but for when Sombra goes to do EMP, there's like the animation. You have like half a second to react with Transcendence, and so there's a really often you'll see Zenyatta's almost kind of hiding away from the rest of the team. So it's like you're either going to EMP me or everyone else. Like make your decision, and that's fun.
Yeah,
I actually remember one of the first bits of gameplay. I think it was probably during the beta for Overwatch. I saw was Zenyatta, and I didn't know anything about the game. And I was just watching it, and I just had no idea what I was watching, with him shooting and reloading, and he was just juggling and doing this stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what he's doing, but it looks so interesting. I want to play that character and work out what it is. So Zenyatta is my most played healer by a decent margin, 34 hours, which is my 5th most played hero. So yeah, no objections about being an A.
Yeah, he's my 2nd most played and obviously my highest healer. Bit weird though that he makes a noise when he hits the floor, considering he doesn't walk. I always thought that was weird. But little tip for any Overwatch heads out there that might be watching: if you run off a platform without jumping, but then press jump before you hit the floor, you won't make a sound when you hit the floor. So
I didn't know that.
A little tip for you. If you want to sneak up on someone, that's what you got to do. They've probably patched it out and I haven't realised, but
they're probably going to hear this and now patch it out. They didn't realise.
Yeah, the Overwatch dev team love bonus points. So.
Right, I feel like we're doing a lot of high-end ones. Let me do someone I'm going to put down a bit lower. This might be a bit controversial, having as a low one, but I'm going to put Mercy down. I'm going to put her in E. You're probably going to want her higher. Yeah, I knew I'd...
That's crazy.
I just find her so boring, like, to play. I'm just like... If I'm doing mystery hero, she's the one I want to get least, because I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. I don't worry, I agree with that. But, like, she's fun to play in a team of people that you know, like, boosting them up. Like, mate, playing with Alice, she's Bastion, and I'm Mercy, like, damage boosting the Bastion. Like, it's ridiculous. Also, she's got quite a cool look. The wings and stuff. Yeah, no, I like her as a... Yeah, like, I realise I'm an outlier, putting her down to E. But, like, the fact that she's the one I would... Out of all of the heroes, she's the one I would want to play least out of anyone. Like, I feel like she just because of that has to be me character. Like, I'm happy if she's on my team. I play Pharah a lot, and like Pharah and Mercy are obviously a really strong combo. So like, I'm happy to see her. I'm happy she's in the game. I just don't want to play her. She's like so. You're telling me that you'd rather play Doomfist? So, my two least played heroes is the bottom is Doomfist, and then one up is Mercy, and then one up is Echo. All of them have 1 hour game time out of my 500 hours. I can't believe Overwatch. You put Mercy in E. Can I request that she goes up with the rest of the healers in D? Yeah, you can put her in the healer class. Yeah, I realised I was, I don't know, being toxic when I put her in E, but like the fact that she's the one I'd want to play least, like I can't put her any lower. Do you know what? You just haven't found the right flow. Yeah. Mercy was the first character I ever played. Do you remember my intro to Overwatch? Yeah. It was like, you were like, oh, I need someone to heal me. Like, and then you gave me a 15 quid gift card and were like, you just buy Overwatch and come online and heal me. Then I gave you my Mad Catz controller and you came over and you're like my little brother. Like, just heal me, all right? Bring me ammo. And I was like, all right, I'll heal you, but I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy it. And like, I came online and I was like, this game has taken over my mind share for the last I remember 4 years. How obsessed you were with like you first. You just kept saying, God, this game is so good. You just kept saying that. It's my favourite game of last gen, easily. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should play her a bit more. Also, there was... I don't want to go too much about Overwatch League stuff, but the first season of Overwatch League, do you remember her ult used to be... Well, no, so her ult used to be she could res the whole team, but then they changed it so she could, as an ability, res someone, and then she could ult and then immediately res someone else. And there'd be so many times, because like getting the first kill in an Overwatch game is like a big deal. They're battling back and forth. Like it takes ages until someone dies. And like the Widowmaker would like lift up into the air and get an amazing snipe, and all the commentators were like, whoa, it's amazing. And then Mercy would just res them. And then they'd like do it again. They're like, oh, they got it again. They're going to push through. They're like, oh, there's another res. And then the big kill on the other side. It's like, oh, but now they're res. And it like the whole first season of the Overwatch League was just like, they called it like Mercy meta, and everyone just hated it. And I know that really, we shouldn't talk about that too much, but like that's in my head as well. She ruined the season of Overwatch League. I think I definitely read this somewhere, but it might have been fake. So fact check this, guys. Google this. I think she's getting that ultimate back for Overwatch 2. Oh, really? Where she can raise the whole team, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, maybe they can find a way to balance it. Like it's never annoyed me on online games, like personally. It's just high level. I know it's kind of ruined it a bit. But yeah. No, D's fine. That will save people getting angry at me, I think. Not having her at E. Okay, I am going to go next, and I am going to pick Torb. I'm actually going to put him pretty high. I'm going to put him in C, because I don't like playing him, but I like playing with him. Okay. I always enjoy having a Torb on my team, as long as it's not me. So that's why I'd put him up that high. Like, I like his little call-outs. He's funny to look at running around. His turret's really good in elimination mode. His turret is so overpowered in that mode. But I like just doing the like
don't get your beard caught in the letterbox over and over again to annoy everyone. No, Torb's an awesome personality. I think kind of putting down turret heroes can sometimes be annoying in games, but I feel like it's not the most annoying one in the world. It doesn't take too long to get destroyed. It's much more like, if the turret's at an off angle, it's kind of something you got to deal with, rather than it being like, it's so strong by itself. I think C's where I'd have put him as well.
Cool. We're in agreement.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Let's do Cassidy. So
Cassidy.
Obviously, previously named something else. If you haven't heard about the name change, basically it's because it was named after one of the developers at Blizzard Entertainment, where it kind of came out that he was not the best guy in the world, so they decided to kind of quite rightly change the name just to explain why he's called Cassidy, and we've just put a post-it note over his name to cover it.
Well, do you know what? This was the biggest, highest quality screenshot of the hero gallery I could find, and it happened to use his old name, which we shall not use. And I didn't realise.
Well, I was saying before, it's quite nice that it's got that. Like, it kind of just shows, like, that it is name change, because in my mind it's still the previous name, so it's kind of like.
Well, they put it into the lore, into the story. Though.
Oh, that the character changed their name. That's interesting. Okay.
So his previous name was like a code name alias, being a bad boy criminal. And his new name is his real name.
Okay, I did not know that. I put him in D. How do you feel about that?
He's one of those characters that I think would be fun to play, and then I play him, and then I realise I can't. So.
I don't like his gun. So I saw an interview with their gun. They said they wanted to do the revolver from Half-Life 2 because they found that gun so satisfying. They wanted a character that's their gun. But the reason that it's so good in Half-Life 2 because it's so strong, and you'd shoot it and then the enemies would like ragdoll. That's what made it so satisfying. This gun, it's not powerful enough, and it shoots too fast. Like, I feel like if it did more damage and shot slower, I think I'd find it more, maybe it'd be a bit closer to Ash, I guess, obviously, but yeah, and then also like his movement, he's got his little roll, and then like his flash and like the little fan the hammer, it can be a bit frustrating once again if you're a tracer or a divey hero. He's like a bit oppressive.
I think they've taken the fan the hammer off him.
Oh, really?
And also he can dive in midair now.
Okay.
Not like Max Payne, like his dive roll.
Slow motion
dive. Okay. But yeah, let's leave him there.
Okay.
Got really slim pickings now.
Oh, there's a few I really like left.
Yeah, these are just all characters I never really play. I'm going to put Mei in C. Mei is cute. Mei is a cute character. I find them quite annoying to play against, and I don't really know how to play them. And the one on your team always puts the gate up in front of the door. And it's like, it's not that funny. It's like, just get out of the way so I can get through the door. But she did have that mode where you had to throw snowballs. That was quite fun.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my Mei knowledge right there. And your dog's called Mei.
Yeah, my dog, and called Mei partly because named after Mei. All my pets are named after characters, and because obviously she's a Chinese character, and then my dog's from China, so
there you go.
Why. No, I agree. Like, she's frustrating to play against because it's anything that takes away like your movement. It's I was talking about the Brigitte stun. Anything that takes away control from the player is frustrating, and freezing them in ice and blocking them off with walls obviously does that. And then the ultimate as well, another very strong ultimate, the Blizzard. But I really do enjoy playing her, and I love the interesting opportunities, like the way you can make bridges between some areas. And there's some plays where like, you could build up a wall to get here, and then Symmetra can have an angle to put a teleporter somewhere she couldn't normally. Like, it's almost like changing the geometry of the map has a few specific interesting plays. So
I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah, and there's some
You're
like
right.
bridges you can use to like, say when you have a whole team and they're all set up with all like their shields and stuff, you can put like a wall up if you're like at a doorway like higher up and just like run and jump over them and like get past their defenses. But once again, you need to be coordinated. But I wouldn't want to put her higher because if you're getting frozen by her and there's one on the other team, it is just so frustrating.
Okay, cool. That was mine, so it's up to you.
Okay. I'm gonna do Doomfist. I don't think he's a bad character.
Where he's gonna go? Oh, okay.
He's not a bad character. Once again, if you see a high level Doomfist player, it's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy playing Doomfist. Also, at the level that I play at, when there's someone on my team as Doomfist, I'm like, oh god, you're just gonna feed so much ult charge to the enemy team by overextending. Like you've got to be quite patient as Doomfist. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, he basically goes in, somehow doesn't die, and then jumps back out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's like when he's on your team. You just see him go, and then he kind of does something, and then he kind of... It's like, how are you not dead?
Well, as he does damage, he gets shield. Do you know about that?
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never played him.
So as he damages, it gives him shield. So basically the idea is you need to be like very passive until you get in a position, then be super aggressive for a while, and then get out. That is how you got to play him. But as I say, you kind of need you don't need, but it's good to have a Zarya to bubble him when he dives in. I don't think he feels good. Everything feels a bit too slow and awkward. I find because they've had to balance it. I feel they had to change the cooldowns and everything just feels a bit too sluggish. But as I said, I've not played him much, so maybe I would get used to it.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go Hanzo, and I'm gonna put him in C as well. Pretty good, pretty easy to play. Good fun to run around with his like running up walls and stuff like that. His like sonar arrow is pretty good. And so is his like the rapid shot. And his ultimate's probably the coolest one in the game. So yeah, C. Easy.
I'd probably put him D, just so I don't enjoy his bow and arrow. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't find it satisfying. Like
that's his whole thing. Poor guy.
I know.
That's all he's got.
But then that's why, like, I feel like I'm always just spamming into a group, and if like there's any distance, I feel if I get a headshot, I'm like, oh, that's lucky they walked in that direction, rather than Widow, where I'm like, that was a good shot I did. Like, I mean,
poor guy. Like,
obviously there is a lot of skill to it, but I just don't enjoy his primary weapon. So for me, he would be a D.
His ultimate's cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's got a super cool ultimate, a big dragon, and one of the best call outs for any ultimates as well.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool though if like when you changed his skin, the dragon changed?
Oh, that would be cool. To like one of the really silly skins, like the surfboard one. It's just like a wave coming or something. Do you know about
For some reason, I just thought like big hot dog.
Do you know the developers always called it the caterpillar? Because when they didn't have artwork for it yet, it was just they just had a bunch of like balls, like coloured balls, and it looked like a caterpillar. And so they just got used to saying like caterpillar. So they in their head they still call it like the caterpillar rather than like his normal ult. I won't make you put it down to D, but I was just he'll be very low for me. I'm trying to even. Where is he? I've got a bunch of notes up on my screen. But yeah, he'll be. Yeah, I've played him for 6 hours, which is pretty low.
Well, anyone less than 2 hours, I didn't write down, and I didn't write him down. So
okay. It's my go, isn't it?
It is your pick.
Right. Okay. This is my first main and who was my favorite hero for the longest time and my third most played. So I'm gonna put her up in A.
I don't know if she's that effective though. She doesn't really ever bother me. So every time I see her, I'm like, that's someone else's problem, and she never really shoots at me anyway. So it's
if you're playing Orisa, like as Pharah, you generally aren't targeting the tanks. You're normally going after like mainly healers, to be honest. But if you have a pharmacy, which is a Pharah and a Mercy, then the Mercy's damage boosting you or then healing you, and you can kind of taxi them round. You can be like very impactful. She's got probably one of the worst ults in the game, which is kind of one of the downsides. It's very often just to kind of even not bother using it because her biggest thing is movement, and she can't move when she does the ult. And there's so much stuff in the game now to shut her down. You know, when she's doing.
And
her
it's
ult.
like the amount of time it seems to take to start is really long.
Yeah.
after she says death reigns from above or whatever it is, justice reigns from above, it's like a couple of seconds and then it starts firing and it's like you can easily shoot her down.
You got to do a flank. It's like when they're all set up with a shield, you kind of got to like fly edge around. They're not expecting you, and then because then you got like your kind of is it concussion thing, the thing that you use to can boop enemies and to yourself. If you shoot that off a wall or the floor, you can get a big burst of speed to whip around behind them, and then you do the ult. And when it's like a Bastion and an Orisa and a Mercy all like hunkered down, and you just melt them before they have time to turn around, that's when it's good. But just the flying movement, like I really enjoy shooting the rockets. What I said about booping people off, she's another one where you can, if you fare a Mercy, can kind of brute force a win no matter what the rest of the team's doing. My favorite character in Team Fortress 2 was the soldier, so there's some crossover to kind of the rocket launcher. You can rocket jump as her.
I remember you playing as her. One of my fondest Overwatch memories, Joe, was we were doing the like Japanese garden map. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And we as soon as we spawned, like as soon as the game started, we went out, and then you managed to team wipe the whole other team by booping them off the bridge.
Yeah.
It was like all of us went mental. Like whoever was in the chat was like, "Oh my god!"
And it's so good because it gives you ult charge as well. Then you have your ult for like the next attack as well when you boot them in.
Yeah, cool. Also,
you okay with A then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a few people using Ultimate indoors, which I think is really funny. Like using it like through doorways. Like...
Yeah. But that's often how I'm doing it. Like I'm up high and I'm poking through to a window or something. Because if you're going in an obvious line to them, because she's also like she's almost a bit like Doomfist in the way it's bursts of aggression. Or like you can either be doing long range poke damage, but that's often dangerous because if they're just healing it up, you're just feeding ult charge, even though you're getting ult yourself. So often you're kind of doing little like bursts. You're trying to get in actually quite close, do a bunch of damage, and then boost away quickly. And I really enjoy that, the mind games.
Okay. Next up, I'm gonna do Lucio, who I'm gonna put in D. God, D really is a healer tier, isn't it? And I'll tell you why, though. It's because I've actually played him quite a bit and I still don't really understand how he works. That's why. His like music mixing thing is too confusing, and like his movement is too. I still don't know what it does. Like, is
so
it one of them...
the green speed boost, the yellow heals.
And that's it.
Yeah, there's two different songs. There's the calming song that heals.
I think when I'm playing it though, I'm like, I don't know which one I'm using or which one.
Just says all green or heal, and then he's got his amp it up, which just whatever one it's on is stronger. You either go faster or heals more. That's it.
Okay, but also I find his movement is too twitchy.
No, I was going to say his wall running. You
just jump near a wall and it's like whoop.
It's bad wall running. Like you compare that to like Titanfall or something.
Yeah,
like it's. Maybe it's an unfair comparison because it's like just one character in this game. But I mean, they've been making it for long enough. Like, it doesn't feel satisfying. Like, it feels like you're like locked onto the wall and changing directions a bit awkward and stuff. And like, you can do it, and you look at top level players and they've mastered it, and it's not like there's nothing wrong with it. It just for the level of play that I have, which is obviously quite low compared to other people. It just doesn't feel good, especially on a controller.
Yeah. It's annoying as well because I should like him in theory. Like,
I like his personality.
Music. Yeah, it's cool. Like he skates.
Yeah, and him cool, healing with music or like amping them up to go faster. Like, I think a really cool character, but I don't really ever want to play him.
His thing where he speeds everyone up is pretty useless in like quick play because he just runs off on his own. Yeah,
he was very dominant. You know what I said about goats when everyone would group up? Like he was in this, you had to have a Lucio. Like even today, he's one of the most picked for like top level. Booping people off is fun. Annoying for the people, but yeah.
And also him when he gets knocked or something and he can like wall run back up. Sometimes you see those clips on Reddit.
Yeah,
quite cool. Anyway, your pick.
I'm gonna do Reaper, and I am gonna put Reaper in D as well. I think.
Yeah, he blows, man.
He's probably the most naff character, like personality-wise,
so
isn't he?
Yeah, and also. To this day, I still don't really know how to counter him because his health goes up every time he shoots you. So it's like,
yeah. That was do you remember before that what he used to be like? Yeah, with the
good times. I call them the good times.
Yeah.
The wonder years.
Yeah, he's strong. I feel like he's much stronger in lower level play because he's you've got to be more coordinated. Like if someone has got a good like Brigitte, to stun him and then like to take him out. But yeah, I don't find his guns that fun to use when I'm playing as him. But he's effective.
And his teleport's pretty much useless.
Yeah, it's better. They've made it faster. And you can do it when like dropping and stuff now. Where it used to be felt much more static before, but now it's more viable to use it in gameplay. I quite like his ult. Like I quite like the animation.
Cool. But it's just got that. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, it's trying to be too cool, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the way he throws his guns away really annoys me.
Yeah,
it's really just obnoxious. Yeah. It's so irritating. He's always like throws them, and then like it's like, how many guns you got in there?
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go next. Oh, it's getting a bit tricky now because these are characters that I know are good, but I don't play.
Yeah.
Symmetra, I'm gonna put in B because Symmetra's a really cool character.
Wow. And
very unique, probably the most unique character out of all of them.
Yeah.
Always seems to be pretty helpful to have on your team. I don't play them, but they always seem to be, necessary. They always, in quick play, they always put teleporters in rubbish places.
Yeah.
But apart from that, also the ult that splits the map in half is very, very good as well. So what's their regular gun like?
So now it's either a constant beam that if you shoot it at a shield, it ends up doing more damage, or you kind of build it up and kind of shoot as almost like a ball, like as a blast, which is like an AoE kind of projectile, which is probably what you'll mainly use. I don't really enjoy either of them that much. The constant beam doesn't feel like it does enough damage to be satisfying, or then the blast. I don't like her little turrets that she shoots around when she's shooting at the top of doorways. And if you're like Reinhardt and you're going through and they're hitting you in the back, it's just like, because I think it's the fact that they slow you down and do damage to you. And then the teleporter stuff, like it make some quite cool, interesting plays, but once again, it's another character that forces kind of full coordination with the whole team, which is something you're kind of quite lucky to get if you're playing the game online. So for me, I would have her at probably a D, to be honest.
A D?
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's split the diff.
Yeah, I feel like you're putting B just because you think other people like her rather than because you like her.
I think she's a cool character. I just don't play her.
Yeah.
But she's like,
I like the stuff that she does, like some of her, like when she wins, she's like, whoosh, like making all shapes appear. Like that's all pretty cool. And the voice actors was pretty cool from like panels and stuff that I've seen. But I don't like playing as or against her. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like, I don't like playing as her. I don't like playing against her. So, I played her for 2 hours out of all the many hours I've played.
Yeah, I don't think I even wrote her down. Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, you've got a free pass to C there, Symmetra. You don't know how lucky you are. I'm gonna do Reinhardt, and I'm gonna put Reinhardt in B.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
Love the character.
That's exactly where I would have put him.
Any kind of... Yeah, do you want to talk about your thoughts on what do you think of him?
He's a staple. Always see him. He's not that annoying to fight against. He's pretty straightforward to play. Always useful to have around. I don't really know what more... You need, do you know what I mean? He's a
great ultimate.
He's in almost every game. Yeah.
One of the most satisfying ultimates where it's good by itself, but with a coordinated team where like everyone's ready to follow up, or like either mind games when there's two Reinhardts and you both know you got your ultimate and you're like, gonna put my shield down. No, I'm not gonna put it down. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not. You're like, I love that mind game. It's great.
Yeah.
Great voice lines and stuff. Cool map as well. Hikenwald. The castle map.
Yeah. Probably one of my favourite maps.
Yeah.
Maybe even my favourite.
Yeah, it wouldn't go fair. I feel like the first point's a bit too stalematey, but apart from that, decent map.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to go now and pick Widowmaker, who I'm going to put in D, because, like Soldier, they're just a sniper. And there's not really... You have a grappling hook and a venom trap, but... Just a sniper, pretty boring. ultimate is reasonably helpful.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
it
low
reveals all
tier.
the characters, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and
There's
then
not really much to say about her, bless her.
Yeah, the little venom mind bomb, the little that ability. I think that's the worst ability in the game. It's like not as in terms of even effect. I mean, maybe by effect, but like it's the most boring. Like people just
I
often
don't think I've ever been hit by it.
Well, the idea is you put it behind you and you know if someone's sneaking up on you, but just often the way the attack and defend game works, it's rarely used like that. Often it's just kind of thrown in and it might do a bit of damage. Like it's yeah, and I really like playing as snipers in games. I don't ever play as her. She's one of my least played characters, and I love Ashe. So I know why they have you need to charge up. Because otherwise, good players, quick scoping would be too strong. I get gameplay-wise why they add it. I don't like it. I don't like having to wait and stay in my scope.
Move it out?
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that. I think I like sniper characters, and they're often one of my go-to characters in games. I never play as Widowmaker.
Right, yeah. Okay, last one then, mate.
Okay, what will I pick?
Yeah.
I like Winston. I've played as Winston a decent amount.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably my favorite character in terms of the personality character.
Yeah.
I think B.
B. Yeah, I think B. Quite annoying to fight against as well, especially if they're a good one. They kind of jump in and then rinse you and then jump away. Or their ultimate's also really powerful.
A lot of the characters I play as are very strong counters, like Roadhog and Sigma. Like if Winston jumps in, I didn't even mention Sigma, his big boulder he throws to stun enemies.
Oh yeah.
If Winston jumps down, I just do that, and then same with the hook. If Winston jumps in, I hook him in, and he's such like a big ball target. Roadhog's gun the scrap gun's so good against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, a talented player, their ult, the way that they juggle, they'll have like hit a player up in the air, then hit another player up, go back to the other one before they've hit the ground and juggle them. Like seeing that kind of stuff is very entertaining.
So it looks like really the quick play, me playing at a low level, no one really uses any of the stun abilities.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed from us talking. Also, I've noticed that you've put all of the healers in D and
Moira.
You just love killing them. You love
Moira,
killing
Zenyatta.
them.
I mean,
the two most damage dealing.
I mean, healer's my least played out of the classes. I put 257 hours in tank, 193 in damage, and 101 in support. So it lines up to what I like to play on the stats, I guess.
Why don't you like healing?
I think if I'm going to get annoyed at a team game, I'm going to get annoyed by my teammates rather than the opponents. And not even it's not even like I'm like, oh, these guys are idiots, whatever. I'm just like, oh, they don't quite understand, which is frustrating for me. And if I'm like healing someone and I see that they're going in a bad position, or like, the other team are attacking, and then they'll go right up to their spawn rather than hanging back. And I then got to go with them because I'm healing them. And I'm like, well, I know this is a bad idea. I just feel so out of control. Whereas if I'm a more self-sufficient character, I feel like then, at least I can try my best to kind of play a decent strategy.
The other day when me and Alice played, every game where we were both the healers, we won.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people just don't heal.
Yeah, if I'm playing with a group of people I know and I play as a healer, then I'm way happy. Even if I'm playing with people that haven't played the game much and aren't doing good strategies, I just don't get angry or annoyed if it's like people I know. Like, say if like I'm playing with you and you did something, I wouldn't get annoyed at you because it's just you. Like, I just don't get it if it's like Hanzo main 505 and I see that they're trying to like spawn camp the enemy team and they keep dying and then spamming in the chat, I need healing. Then I'm going to be like, I'm going to play a different game.
Maybe let's move Bastion. We can't leave him there. Tread in water. I think he needs to go up.
I think he needs to go down.
After all that chat we've just had about, well, I mean, look at the people in C. He's not them, is he?
I mean, think of them for playing against them.
He's fine if you know how to counter him.
Yeah, it's not
got
that
a
he's
big weak spot on
overpowered.
his back.
It's the way he dominates like the whole game if he's in it. Like you know, like Junkertown. Have you heard of like the pirate ship strategy?
Yeah. You sit on the car.
Yeah, so you have like a Rissa shield as like the sail, and then he's like the cat. Yeah, and and that strategy is like strong from like first time playing the game, you'll win all your games, to pro level, they play that strategy as well. And I feel like the fact that strategy works on every level, I feel like there almost needs to be more to it than there is. But
okay, well, if I move him down into C, you've got to look at the camera and say, Alice, I'm sorry, your main character is going into C.
Oh, I can't. She's coming on the podcast soon, and that's all she want to talk about. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Bastion begins with B. Go on then.
Yes.
B for Bastion.
That was going to be my last point, and I didn't need to bring it up. So
guess we better move Doomfist up as well.
Yeah.
Echo's in the right place.
Maybe we've missed the boat, but maybe we should start making Overwatch videos.
Well, this is our first.
That's the second, actually.
Yeah, we have been discussing doing Let's Plays on the channel, so that might be maybe a fun thing, maybe to do with the community.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. I'm not going to cut that out in the edit. Right.
Commit to
that. Okay, great. So looks like this is pretty much locked in, unless there's anyone you want to move.
Yeah, Bastion down to C.
Anyone else you want to move?
No. I think this is a good representation of our agreed. To be fair, largely apart from like the few outliers like Mercy and stuff, we were pretty in agreement, which is quite cool considering we play very different heroes.
But you have to remember that I, for a while, was your Overwatch protege.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I only played through you. So.
Yeah, but I never told you to play Junkrat. You flourished. You did that on your own.
Yeah. Not that there's any video evidence, but
yeah, there's no proof of your training. But
actually, on my Twitter, I've got a team wipe with his tire.
Yeah,
so.
We didn't even speak about his tire. That's a great ult. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for both sides. It's fun for me, like being Ash or something, trying to shoot it out the air, and it's fun for you to control it. That's great.
And driving up the walls and
stuff.
No,
it was brilliant.
Cool. Okay, so I guess that's it. God, we ran long. It's basically a free podcast episode. You lucky lot. Yeah. Okay, so any ideas what the next tier list might be, Joe?
Absolutely.
What's it going to be?
Oh, it's secret.
Okay. Nice.
I'm not sure. We'll think of something. These are just going to pop up every now and then, aren't they? There's not a set plan for them, right, Ollie?
There's no set plan. They just come and go as they please. Bless them.
Yeah, but feel free.
Treat our channel like a hotel.
So you mentioned someone recommended.
To do
I didn't.
I will put it up in the video. I'll put it up as text at the beginning, but I'm going to mention at the end. Christopher Mangan was actually the one that suggested, which is crazy that me and Joe both like Overwatch and we didn't think of doing this.
Yeah. There's not many games with big cast of characters that we both play, but this is one that we both love. But it just goes to show, if you do leave comments, we do read them, and they might affect things. So if you do have any other ideas for tier lists, I guess wouldn't hurt to put them in the comments.
Yeah, it just goes to show we do read them and then forget about them until the very last part of the video.
Yeah.
No, Christopher, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, hope you watched it.
I guess. Yeah, up to this point. Okay, right. Cool. I guess that's everything then. All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye.